What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Clearly Distorted podcast, where we discuss our clearly thought out ideas shared through our distorted lenses. We cover the week's trending topics ranging from social issues, sports, politics, news, and so much more. I am Damien, aka Devil's Advocate. She is Patricia, aka She Ain't All There.
I don't like this nickname. I want to change this.
Oh, here you
I want to
go.
change this nickname. I want to be called Princess of Turkey and Puerto Rico. Midnight Madness.
I can't escape it.
The Mama Jamma. I wanna change my nickname.
That's hilarious. I was just getting ready to say Julian's not here this week, but it seems he is here in spirit.
I'm
And
just joking.
you planned that shit, didn't you? I
I
wasn't ready.
did.
Oh man. Well, this is episode 29, believe it or not. It's like once we hit 10, it seemed like they just started flying by. But this week, we're going to be discussing Pras of the Fugees facing 20 years in prison. Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey might be brothers.
I think they are. I think they are.
Kathleen Castillo runs over 6 people and gets 5 hours of community service. DeSantis taunting Disney backfired in a major way, or could be in a major way. Corruption politics getting out of control, and COVID is finally over.
What was it that Trump said it was going to be gone by the 2020 Easter Day?
Yeah, I don't know what Trump said. I try not to pay attention to that shit.
I forgot about COVID.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that. Anyway, so what's been good with you, Patricia? It's been a while.
I know. 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, man. I started getting phone calls again. People were like, "What's going on? Where is this girl?" I don't believe you. Y'all keep saying it's Ramadan. I don't believe you.
It's been good. It's been good and it's been horrible actually.
Mm.
I mean, I feel like since the year started, it's been a shit show, like literally a shit show.
Yeah,
And like I was
a lot
in
going on.
Tampa and coming back. And then like I was sick, but no, I took time off because it was Ramadan. But in that period of time, um, all my kids got sick. And one got really sick, and then I got sick, and then we ended up not even being able to celebrate the ending of Ramadan because one of my daughters was hospitalized. It's been crazy, but I'm here.
You're here, and all your kids are healthy now. I can testify because we'll hear them throughout the podcast.
No, like it's 9:30 here at night, so
Right.
they should be winding down,
Let's see.
except one.
Well, that's good. It's good to
What's
have you
going on with
back.
you? Thank you.
Um, Not
I
a
know,
whole.
like my sister, I'm sorry to interrupt you. My sister called me, she's like, bitch, like, when are you coming back?
These guys are talking too much sports. You better hurry up and get back.
15-minute pass, 15 second, 15 second. She's like, fucking basketball. Like, the conversation is longer than the game.
I swear last week we must have, I think it was like 40, 45 minutes on straight basketball.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I guess, when the cat's away, the mice will play. So,
Yeah. So is basketball finished?
no, no.
So maybe I should skip the finale because you guys are all just going to be talking about this
No, we
basketball.
we got a couple weeks still. So
Okay, good.
we'll see how that works
Oh,
out.
so it's going to be finished by the break time.
It'll probably finish in the break. I think. Yeah,
Oh,
we might.
during it?
I don't know. We might
I
have
know
to.
you guys are going to come back. No, 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 no. You guys are going to come back from the break and talk about it. And I'm going to be on the comments just making little comments.
Yeah, we might have to figure something out there. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. So what's going on with you besides basketball?
Um, Not a whole lot. Business is booming. It's
Hot
crazy
over
out
there,
there.
huh?
Oh man. It's this time of year, it's like, we have our regular customers, that we've had over the years and acquire, but once we get to this point every year, I guess this is when people have bought their houses and realize they
Mm.
don't know what's going on. It's easy to take care of a pool when it's cold out, but once that heat comes, it's a different story. Yeah, yeah.
That's
People like you, shit, man, it's hot. This pool keeps turning green. I don't know what's going on. So
yeah.
yeah, we pick up a lot of clientele this point of year, so our phone's gonna
That's
be busy.
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Other than that, same old same.
It's it's cold over here. I'm ready for hot weather. Something. Give me at least 62.
Yeah, you'll leave that over there when you come here because there's 62s and gone. Not even at night anymore. It's in
I mean, but we're
70s.
in May. We're in May.
Yeah, you're also in a colder region of the world. You're a little further from the equator, so it takes longer to get up to you.
I guess so. What's the temperature right now? Yeah, 52.
52.
But I live in a mountain, so really it feels like 45.
Yeah, it's a little colder up there. What's the elevation there? How high up are you? You know?
No,
Oh, okay.
I have no idea. I know it's 55 because I can Google it. I have no idea what the elevation is. It's a high elevation.
Oh my god. Man, so Pras of the Fugees is facing 20 years in prison. And something shady. This
This is
shit's,
this is gonna become a movie.
you're probably right. It could almost become a series because it seems like there's so much contradictory information and more keeps coming out. But no matter what comes out, it doesn't seem to fare well for Praz. So he was actually found guilty in a federal court on Wednesday of 10 uh, criminal counts related to international conspiracy, reaching the highest levels of the fucking U.S. government. It's just like Praz, the Fuji rapper.
Yeah, like I don't
U.S.
even remember him when he was in the Fugees. I just remembered Lauryn Hill and Wyclef. I'm like, there
Right.
was a third?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I guess how does he come to the conclusion that somebody's gonna give him $100 million and here, just do whatever you want with $100 million?
I mean, it was like different instances. Like one time it was 20 million, and then a few years later it was 100 million. And it just so
And didn't he say that like even it was like $20 million if he could get a picture with Obama?
yeah,
That's what I
so
read.
we'll see. So he testified that Lowe, well, all right, so let's back up again. Let's just cover the details and then we'll get into all of the bullshit.
Lowe is the billionaire from where
From
is he from?
Malaysia.
Malaysia,
So
yeah, the billionaire.
so multiple counts over the failed conspiracy to help Malaysian businessman Joe Lowe and the Chinese government gain access to US officials, including the former President Barack Obama and Donald Trump. So these are what the charges
Charges
are.
are.
Praz was found guilty of conspiracy to defraud the US, witness tampering, and acting as an unregistered agent of a foreign government. He's facing
Wasn't it for China? Wasn't it for China?
yeah. So because he was doing things on for the sake or on the behalf of
On the
China.
behalf of them, yeah. Oof. And you're worried about TikTok?
Hey, it comes in many. It's China.
Many,
At the end of the day, it's China. It ain't TikTok. TikTok is the tool.
that's what I'm saying.
TikTok is the prize in this story. So Anyway, Praz testifies that Lowe paid him 20 million back in 2012 in order to get a picture with himself and Obama.
That sounds shady right there. I mean, I guess you're a billionaire. You have.
And the prosecutors are saying out of that 20 million, 800 of it was funneled into Obama's campaign through a number of straw donors. So it's almost like
It's like almost like Clarence Thomas here.
I said 800 million. I meant 800,000.
800,000.
Yeah. That's an expensive picture. Shit, the 20 million is so that was in 2012. And in 2017, this now Trump is in office. Investigations started ramping up into Lowe and his alleged roles in billions of dollars being embezzled from 1MBD, which is a Malaysian sovereign wealth fund. This shit just gets deeper and deeper on many levels. And Lowe.
So,
go ahead.
So this Lowe guy,
yeah,
also funded the movie The Wolf of Wall Street,
right,
with Leonardo DiCaprio. And I guess Leonardo DiCaprio even testified that he had mentioned to him that he was looking to spend $20 to $30 million to help reelect Obama.
Yeah,
that's crazy,
man. It reminds, we watch these shows like what was the one you just finished with the black
The Watcher?
No, about the president. Well, oh my God, I'm the worst with names. You got to pick it up. Usually Julian saves me by now.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was watching a show with a president.
You just finished watching it with the black woman. She was like the fixer.
Her
boyfriend's
Julian,
the president.
Where are you? Scandal. Oh, I love that show. Scandal. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is very Scandal-like show.
You watch Scandal and you're like, man, this shit is so salacious. Like, this can't be like real. Meanwhile, shit like this is really going on.
No, like when I watched Scandal, I was like, somebody's giving us an insight to what's really happening, like in our government.
Right. I'm sure. I mean, some of it may be exaggerated or, whatever, but
I don't know. I think most of it is played down. The way we're going.
You're probably right.
The way we're going, it's like, we cannot let them know too much,
You're probably right. Yeah.
Yeah. So they haven't said how much. He doesn't have a sentencing date yet.
No sentencing date yet, but he's looking at he's facing up to 20.
Well, considering the judicial system, they'll probably give him 25.
Yeah, that's kind of how. Man, that's once we hit that other topic, that's going to be real. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what he gets sentenced. Thinking about other cases that are going on, but so he's been charged.
But this is serious.
It sounds. I don't think we know. I don't even think we know half. I think this shit got way deeper because we're only hearing about pieces of the 20 million and pieces of the 100 million. Supposedly the 100 million was an investment in some kind of company he was starting, and that's what the 100 million was for. But it's like all his claims, there's no evidence to support it, and there's the evidence is supporting other shit. But
also, it puts into perspective, this is just one billionaire with one other person. God knows how many other people are infiltrated here, buying their way around through things. Clarence Thomas.
Yeah, and it I don't know how far we want to get into it, but it's kind of like the thing we were talking about the other day, the law that got passed in Texas to prevent people that are working on behalf of certain foreign governments, to preventing them to be able to buy property. It's because of shit like this.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's scary to see how many foreign companies are coming in and buying not, I don't care about a house. I'm talking about our farming lands, and it's like, do we owe anything anymore? I don't know. Like, why are they so interested in that part of of real estate?
I mean, but even buying the houses is a big deal because they can come in and buy, hundreds of investment homes
And
and
that's what they were doing. Like, I think I read not that long ago when the housing market was crashing,
yeah.
a lot of Saudis came and bought a bunch of properties,
Mm-hmm. Like
a
you're talking
bunch
about
of
back in 07, 08.
no, I'm talking about the last one recently.
Oh, when it was spiking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially here in Florida, it was a big deal. And cash too. You couldn't even it was
Yeah.
crazy. It was crazy
They were
times.
like outbidding people left and right. Why,
Overpaying,
what? Yeah.
overpaying tens of
You have to ask your,
thousands.
yeah, you have to ask yourself why.
Yeah.
It's funny. I know that you kind of didn't want to talk about this, but everyone knows that King Charles is getting crowned during the coronation. But I was reading, a lot, because they were saying a lot of the things that they have over there, it's stolen, from like India and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I was reading comments back and forth of obviously people saying, oh yeah, and then the British people saying, oh, who cares, whatever. But somebody wrote a comment that I was like, let me look. And then I started looking because the Indian guy was saying, you keep thinking that we're not coming for you guys, but look at how we're taking over politics. And he started naming like the prime minister and all these prominent politicians from Indian descent that have been appointed to them. And I was like, oh, they do look like they're coming.
Mm.
And
For
I
the
looked,
UK?
yeah, in the UK, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm. Payback comes one way or another, right? I
I
guess.
mean, they are the worst family ever.
Yeah, I don't even know why you brought that shit up. I could, I don't. I could give zero shits about somebody's king or queen. Ain't mine. Anyway, Kathleen Casillo. You heard of her?
Unfortunately.
So this lady runs 6 people over in her car,
No one dies, but they're
all
injured or can,
hospitalized,
yes.
and she winds up with 5 years of 5 hours of community service.
Why didn't they give her 5 minutes?
Why didn't they give her 5 hand claps? Like, because really they just are applauding her actions.
Exactly. Why didn't they just say, just take the garbage out when you leave? That's
This shit's crazy. So going back to the beginning for those unfamiliar, uh, this was back in December
20.
2020.
Mm,
There was a BLM or Black Lives Movement protest going on,
demonstration.
demonstration, call it what you want. And this woman decides to drive down the street of the demonstration. And instead of, once she gets to the point where she's coming up into people that are in the street, instead of stopping, turning around, maybe finding a different way to go wherever she was going, she was just insistent on driving through this crowd. And she just, like with a foot on the brake, nudging, kind of bumping into people, coming up on the side of people. And, like 3 or 4 people like hit the hood of her car, like, watch, what are you doing? Like, you see people in front of you, and your only thought is to continue moving forward. And so like 3 or 4 people like hit the hood, like, just like what the hell, not like attacking or aggressive in any way. And she just mashes on the gas, takes off, runs over 6 people, people flying in the air, literally.
Yeah.
Uh then, she comes to a stop and is engulfed and surrounded by the remaining protesters that weren't hit. So she gets arrested. She gets released hours later on her own recognizance, hours after intentionally running people over. She was released on her own recognizance and given a court date, whereas most people would have been jailed
Yeah.
and arraigned. Then her charges were wild. She was only the worst case scenario at this point was she was facing 7 years. She was only charged with reckless endangerment for collision that hospitalized 6 people and was never charged with attempted murder.
So they, in 2021, they gave her like a plea deal of 6 days, community service, and 1 year with suspended driver's license. And she didn't take it. She said no, because she was claiming that they were being aggressive towards her car and she panicked and this and that and the other. So I'm going to play devil's advocate. I want to say that her penalty, or her 5 hours community service, that's ridiculous. I think there should have been something a lot more than 5 hours. I mean, why give 5 hours? How do they determine 5 hours? Like, how do you determine, like, is that what, like, possibly harming someone? Is that what their lives?
So I guess she was offered a extremely generous plea deal.
It's called the sweetheart deal, I guess.
Her misdemeanor, her initial charges were only a misdemeanor, is downgraded to disorderly conduct.
Yeah.
And will remain that way if she avoids any other legal problems while serving her 5-hour sentence of unspecified community service. So she can do whatever the fuck she wants for 5 hours and get somebody to sign off for it. And she's found guilty of disorderly conduct. Running 6 people over.
Yeah, that's
is disorderly conduct.
That definitely should have not happened. She should have definitely gotten a lot more probation. She should have gotten her license suspended.
Probation?
Yeah, they're not gonna give her jail time. They're not gonna give her jail time. I mean, clearly, they're not gonna give her. But so here's where I come.
If I was driving that BMW.
Oh no, you would have gotten jail time.
There was a KKK rally going on.
You would have not left the jail that day.
And I feared for my life and just mashed on the gas because I felt like I had to get the fuck out of there, and popped 6 people in the air who all survived. I would have 6 charges of attempted murder.
I mean, clearly this is, I mean, I don't know what her background is, but clearly this is privilege, first of all. And second of all, it's just reiterates how minorities or Black lives they're disposable. Literally, like, I'm chucking it out. But I do want to say this. I saw the video.
You saw a portion of it.
Well, what I'm going to talk about is what the people that were crowding her car.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I feel for the people that did not see it coming. I feel for the people that she hit and flew up the air and all that stuff. But the street wasn't crowded. You see a car, like, I don't care what kind of protesting I'm trying to do. I'm not going to harm my body. I'm not going to see a car that's I'm in the middle of the street. I'm not going to be in front of a car and just banging on the hood of a car. Is it right what she did? 100% not. But I'm putting myself in that situation.
Yeah, but that's not totally what happened. These people are in the streets. They're walking in one direction, and she's coming from behind them.
Right. But they knew they were in front of the car. They knew they were in front of the car.
Yeah, at the point when she's on their heels, nudging them.
But so she did not go down. And I'm not excusing her behavior. I'm not talking about the people that stand in front of danger to protest.
All right,
it doesn't make any sense.
Let's back up then. You're driving your car. You turn down a street and there's a shit ton of people on the street. Mm-hmm. You realize You're coming up on a demonstration or a protest.
Right.
What would you do?
So I'm gonna tell you what I would do if I'm in America or if I'm anywhere and I'm driving down and I take the wrong turn and I end up in the middle of a protest. I'm gonna move my car forward because now I'm fucking scared. And I don't care who it is. If there's people surrounding my car, I'm going to be scared because I'm in America. I don't know if somebody has a weapon. I don't know if somebody has a bat. Oh yeah.
So then why wouldn't you reverse or turn around and get yourself out of
Oh
there?
no, 100%. If I can reverse, I'm gonna reverse. But I don't know if she could have reversed.
She could have, there was enough space for her to make a U-turn in the damn street if she wanted to.
So if you're saying that there was enough space for her to make a U-turn, then there was, because the video that I saw when the car was going, it wasn't like a crowded space.
Most of the people were on the sides of the roads. There were
Right.
some in the road, but closer
So
to the
that goes
side
again
than
to
the
my
middle.
that goes again to say, why didn't they move out of the way?
They did.
I don't know. The video that I saw, that portion of the video that I saw, the car was surrounded and they were hitting her car. And that's why she said that she freaked out and she hit the gas.
They were like on the sides. Like
Right.
after she's like nudging, like this went on for a while. It wasn't like she turned the corner and boom, there were people. She drove into the people and was like nudging on their heels. Before she even got to that point, she could have flipped a fucking U-turn.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I would have done. But if I'm in a place that I cannot do a U-turn, and if I'm in a place that people are crowding my car, and if it's between me and them, it's gonna be me and that gas pedal.
You're inside a vehicle. What are they gonna do to you?
What do you mean? They could break a window, they could have a gun, they could shoot me. I have no idea what the hell people are doing.
Okay. I would say at that point, if someone's busting your window, then that's an aggressive move. Then you have a reason to flee, right?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna
nothing
wait.
aggressive happened at all.
No, I'm not talking about her, but I'm saying for me, I'm not gonna wait for someone to break my window. I'm gonna hunt the horn. I'm gonna say I'm gonna keep inching my car forward. And if people don't move out of the way when they have a chance to move out of the way, I feel like I'm getting attacked now. I'm not saying that maybe that's what she said. I don't know.
How are you feeling like you're getting attacked when you're proceeding into the situation and you have an opportunity to get out of it?
If I have an opportunity to get out,
it's
I
not
will
if.
get out.
It's not if.
She was trying to inch forward.
She had an opportunity. She could have turned around.
I don't know. I haven't seen that part of the video. I'm only going by what I saw. But but the fact that she did it, and that was her choice to make, and the fact that that's what they gave her, that's shitty.
Yeah.
Because it makes me feel like the people that were injured were not taken into consideration
at all.
At all. And that makes me feel like if somebody would have died, she would have gotten like a year or maybe 2.
I mean, even if you fled fearing your life, right? Say out.
She didn't flee though. She stopped.
I'm talking about the point where she accelerated. She fled out of what she said. She was surrounded by a crowd and she fled out of that situation.
Of the situation. Yeah.
Say I'm driving down the street and I hear gunshots, right? Oh shit, I feel like someone's shooting at me, or I could possibly just be hit by a stray. I hit the gas, I turn the corner, I lose control, and I hit somebody by accident and they die. I am going to be charged with manslaughter.
100%.
How does that not apply here?
Because she's white or light, and it's a Black Lives Matter protest. Look at what happened. It's so disproportionate. Look at what happened. Do you remember when they were like, I don't know, like 20 Black men in suits, not like wearing Bloods and Crips, whatever, and they went up to the steps of in Washington. They were protesting. Police was there like this, right? Because they were like, oh no. But we had January 6th.
Right.
Those people went all the way in with their guns and everything. What happened in Ohio not that long ago? Like, I think it was last weekend. the Nazis in full gear
At the
with
transgender
at the transgender, it was like a transgender show. They literally had a sign that said they will be blood or blood will run or whatever, and they had their automatic weapons. And the police was escorting them across the street so they could, stand in front, nothing happens to them. But I think it was 6 or 16 men that went up to the steps and they were dressed and they were just protesting, not even saying anything. They were just standing there and it was like commotion. Do you remember that at all?
Vaguely.
So, I mean, clearly this is just to show you how even in 2023, as much as people want to say, oh no, things have changed or whatever,
No. It's just they find different ways to present the same thing.
Exactly. But this was a slap to the face. I mean, she definitely, I don't think she should have had community service because she did decide to she made that decision, right? To run over people.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way it appears. I mean, even if, all right, so me just trying to put myself in a situation. Why, if she mashed on it, because she was surrounded by very few people and she feared for her life and mashed on the gas, right? Hits 6 people, then she comes to a stop. Then she's surrounded by far more people. She didn't hit the gas again.
So what do you think? You think she intentionally wanted to run over people?
I think she felt like, this is my road. Fuck out of here. Cars belong on roads, not cars. Get the fuck out of my way. And hit the gas and didn't give a fuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or maybe she got scared. She hit the brakes. She ran over people and then she stopped. And even though more people are surrounding the car, maybe she's in shock because of what she knows that she just did. I don't know. I don't know. The point is that the sentencing definitely doesn't fit the crime. And that was a crime. I mean, the fact that they made it what
charges.
is that
From
what
the beginning, she was released on her own recognizance and given a court date when everyone else would have been arrested and arraigned.
Shit, not even Trump could do that. He was.
I mean,
he
this shit's
fingerprinted and everything.
Yeah, this shit's crazy. And then the whole process from the beginning of the arrest to the charges were the weakest possible, and then got reduced from there. I can't. I don't understand how she's not charged with attempted murder.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess. And she wasn't like when they told her six days of community service and 1 year suspension. She's like, no, I'm not doing that. We're gonna keep fighting this. Yeah, she was very confident that she was gonna get away, and she did. 5 hours is nothing. I don't know why they gave you 5 hours.
Just imagine the level of audacity that would require. You just ran over 6 people for whatever reason.
Oh shit!
And the outcome is you lose your license for a year and you get 6 days of community service.
I'm like, please, yes, I'll take it.
But exactly.
But she's like,
we
nope.
would. Oh
yeah.
That's goes to show you. This goes to show.
I mean, it goes to show you that people of color go to jail for far longer for way lesser things.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
The moral of the story.
It's the same story over and over again.
Anyway, I swore I wasn't going to say this name this week, but
DeSantis.
He's back. He just continues
like an STD.
Yes. Like, he just continues to do stupid shit, and you just can't help but fucking mention it. So we all know he's getting ready to announce his campaign, right? It's the writings on the wall. He's signed a new law into Florida that will allow him to run for another political position that overlaps his current position, and he can do that, which was against the law in Florida previously. So he's setting it up to be able to lose and still come back to Florida and have a job. Meanwhile, he's not going to be governing the state of Florida. Anyway, I'm rambling on. So his campaign is getting ready to be announced. Everyone estimates in June. He makes these hats that says DeSantis for president 2024. And the lettering is written in that fancy Disney script. Well, Disney has trademarked that script, and well, they haven't
I mean,
given.
everybody knows that.
Yeah,
He's,
you would think everyone knows that, but
but
he wasn't given permission.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. If I hated DeSantis, I would be working with DeSantis or for DeSantis. And I would be like, dude, that's a great idea. Make sure you print a lot of fucking shit with the Disney, writing. Go ahead, do it. It's a great idea.
Sabotage from within.
I know. That's the only way I can see it, because I can't see anyone saying, and not someone thinking, you might want to look into the copyright. He's an idiot. I don't know. I'm starting to, I never, like, it's so funny because when Trump started running, I'm like, it can never get worse than this. And it seems to be proven that it can. And then I'm like, I will never dislike anybody as much as I dislike Trump, but he's giving a good run for his money.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not, and we're people who wouldn't vote for him, but it's not even just us. Like, a lot of Florida donors have stepped away from him. The donors that remain supporting him don't feel confident that he can beat Trump. And then he continues to do stupid shit. He went on this whole anti-media crusade. He tried to pass a bill that would make it easier to sue the media for defamation, and which basically is an infringement on your First Amendment,
which they like to do, but don't touch the second one.
Exactly, and many other amendments.
Yeah.
But he couldn't even get that to go through Florida legislation, which is heavily Republican in every aspect. So he couldn't get that through. And not only that, other conservative publications are speaking out against him and, calling the move misguided and saying it's a self-inflicted political wound. So he's taking hits from his own side. And it's
but I don't know, because some people say no, only the Floridians know him. But I mean, who else could go against him? Who else is out there making enough noise to get the ticket?
I don't know.
That's what I'm
saying. Trump. What do you mean? Trump.
Besides Trump.
Nikki Haley's running. Of course, you're probably going to have Ted Cruz run again. And
yeah, but these people are nobodies. Like, nobody's going to, they're not going to win the ticket. So if it comes
Ted Cruz was very close to winning. Ted Cruz had a shot.
He won't have a shot now.
Probably not while Trump is around.
No. I don't know. I feel with the Republicans,
Nikki Haley, they like her.
Listen, that's not even her real name.
I know. She's Indian. So
why isn't she run with your name?
Because she was in South Carolina government, and that shit ain't gonna fly in South Carolina.
Yeah. Why not be proud of who you are, Nikki? Nikki from India.
Yeah. Anyway.
So I don't know. Listen, at this point between DeSantis and Trump, I don't know who's worse. Because Trump is just annoying. And he's annoying and he says stupid shit, right? But with DeSantis, I feel maybe DeSantis is worse. Oh my God, I cannot believe I'm even saying that.
I think the word is more dangerous. We've already seen what's under the hood with Trump, right? So people know he's been exposed. A lot of people don't know what's under the hood. A lot of people don't. What?
I don't want to know what's under the hood.
Oh God. But a lot of people don't know DeSantis as well as we do here in the state of Florida.
Yeah, so, I think DeSantis is more dangerous.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Ugh, I
But
don't know.
he has to be able to win Florida. If he can't beat Trump in Florida, he's got a major problem. And it's looking like he has a major problem.
Yeah. But you just never know. Like, look at what happened. Like, I just don't, like before, I didn't have too much faith in politics. After Trump, it's just like,
How could this
we
happen?
just, yeah. So we could think, oh, Trump has it in the bag, and then boom. And then what about the Democrats? Because Mr. Burns and Mr. Mr. Burns, Mr.
Biden has
Biden,
Biden has
Mr. Biden
recently
Burns.
announced that he is running again, and so you probably won't hear much from any of the Democrats. One of the Kennedys, John F. Kennedy Jr., I believe. John F. Kennedy.
John F. Kennedy Jr.
No, not
He
that
came
one.
back from dead.
No. It's the brothers Jr. Robert Kennedy Jr. Is running, has announced to run, but he's a little nutty, so he's not going to get any Democratic support at all.
Biden is 80 years old.
They don't care. They don't care.
And
As long as Trump is in the picture, we're gonna have to deal with Biden. They feel like he's the only he's the anti-Trump, and that's it. We can't. No one else can beat him. I'm not happy at all, but what the fuck am I
I
gonna
mean,
do?
Biden is literally walking on the grass, going nowhere. Like, he's just walking into open field. Like, where is he going? And that's when I think it's really Biden walking.
When you don't
When
don't
when Biden is, moving fast and walking ahead of Jill,
Patricia.
I'm telling you, when he's walking in front of Jill and he's like, "Come on, Jill, let's get on the plane." I want somebody to zoom in on his face, because it could be Jim Carrey when he did the Saturday Night Live skit. I don't know. It could be somebody else looking like Biden.
Oh God.
He has a stand-in.
Anyway, maybe he's walking in the lawn because he needs exercise, which is important at that age, right?
Do you even know the video that I'm talking about?
I really
He's walking down the steps and he's just walking down the grass to the open field. There's not a helicopter waiting for him. There's not a car. There's not a horse.
maybe he was just admiring the birds and the bees, the flowers and the trees.
Listen, Biden has dementia.
He what?
He has dementia.
Oh my God. No. Patricia, aka QAnon. There we
The
go.
beginning. Where's Julian?
Oh my God. Julian would be losing his fucking mind right now.
Oh, so Julian thinks that he doesn't have a stand-in? He has a stand-in.
Patricia, cut it out. Are you fucking kidding me?
Listen, I'm going from now on, when he's up there, I'm gonna take a picture and I'm gonna click all his sunspots because he's old as hell. And then when he's walking really fast and telling Jill, "Come on, let's go," I bet you that face is gonna be smooth.
All right, well, you let me know how that experiment turns out for you. We'll be first to report it here on the Clearly Distorted podcast. But in the meantime, let's move along. So we all know corruption in politics is a thing.
Hold up a minute. Hold on 1 minute.
What the fuck?
No. I want to do a poll. I want to know how many people think that sometimes Biden is not Biden.
Patricia, there is a large community of people who think that.
Not the Quanon, Quakers, quacks. I'm not those. Regular people like me.
I don't know if you still qualify for regular people after making a statement like that.
Hey, listen, there's a law going on in that White House.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't know if stunt doubles is one of them, though.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm 100% sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it my mission. When I go to America, I'm going to go to the White House.
Yeah. Let me know if they let you in. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Corruption in U.S. politics is a thing. We know this, right?
Yeah.
The two least likely people to ever join forces have AOC and Matt Gaetz are co-sponsoring a bill barring stock trading among members of Congress because that shit's just fucking shady.
Not shady, illegal. It should be illegal.
It should be. Gates says we should disallow congressional stock trading for the same reasons we don't allow referees to bet on a game. And when you lay it out like that, like how it's simple and easy to understand, and how could you argue with that? It's just obviously you're gonna have the ability to come across inside information. You have the power to pass laws or not pass laws that favor or hinder these companies that you hold stock in.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's favoritism at its best, like right in front of our face.
Clearly. I mean, how do you think? I mean, we have millionaires in I mean, they don't get paid millions to do their job. A lot of these people are making millions in stocks.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And you know what? Who I think is at the top? What's her name? The former Speaker of the House, Pelosi.
Oh, Pelosi.
Oh man, she's making out like a fat cat. She's going to be the biggest opposer to this bill, but
making out Pelosi, fat cat Pelosi. You said it.
Not like
I have to stand in for Julian. He would have been like, fat cat Pelosi.
You go.
Pelosi got a fat cat.
So AOC says the ability to trade stock erodes the public's trust in government. And when members have access to classified information, we should not be trading in the stock market on it. It's really just that simple. And that's just pretty much what I said. Like, it's obvious. It's obvious that this should not be allowed.
But, and I don't know how it's, again, I always say in the year, I don't know how it's 2023 and this is still going on. This is something that should have been stopped a long time ago.
But this is not, but both sides are taking advantage of it. So it's never, they're never going to vote against their own interests. And it's disgusting. Right. I think that the president, the presidents probably do this shit too. I mean, we just saw Trump for
both presidents.
Biden's actually doesn't have a lot of money from what I've seen. So I don't know. I'm not going to say it's not, but
maybe Biden standing is the one that's taking the money. I'm just kidding.
Having a double cost is expensive, huh?
Yeah. No,
I forget what I was going to say. Oh, like, you know, when Trump was president, like, you know, when all of the foreign dignitaries were traveling to DC, they all stayed at his hotel and brought out floors and, you know, floors and floors. He made millions of dollars off this shit. Like, this it's so obvious, and we're just like, oh, there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, we were saying there was something wrong with that. Republicans were saying there wasn't anything wrong with that. But had it been Obama,
nobody did anything about it.
I know. So I'm glad that they did come up with this, and I'm glad that it's, you know,
it won't go anywhere.
Yeah, because both, like you said, both sides are gonna be like, we're not touching that.
Yeah. And then while all of that shit's going on, here's Clarence Thomas popping up again. So
Uncle Clarence.
Like, as if $500 million vacations wasn't enough. Now it's come to light that his children's private school education was paid for by the same guy that was taking them on these $500 million vacations. And he's still sitting in his seat. He still goes to work every day.
He looks grimy.
His whole tenure has been grimy.
Yeah.
He got the job in the midst of a fucking scandal. Like, it's never been smooth with him. He's never been.
Why do you think they cheated their way to put him in there?
What do you mean? This is the evidence of it's obvious.
No. I said yeah. So why do you think they cheated to put him in there?
Because he's on the take. Clearly.
Because what?
He's on the take. He's bought.
Yeah. But because he's like the token black guy, right?
Both.
And then his wife is
Republicans will
what?
put a black guy in who is on our, works for us.
Yeah.
He's bought by us.
I mean, this is very blatant. I cannot even believe.
It's
I
disgusting.
couldn't believe. Actually, I can't believe it because I couldn't believe when he was getting nominated or like sworn in. I couldn't believe that it actually happened. I thought that it was going to be stopped somewhere along the line. And now the little evidence that we know,
right,
it's bad. I cannot even imagine the stuff that we don't know that he's done, or that he will. God knows what he's going to do in the future.
Yeah.
This is why I don't believe that they should be in there for lifetime.
There should not be lifetime terms, and there should be ways to remove their ass for fraudulent
Just
shit
like you would,
this.
just like you would remove a regular judge if they're doing something illegal. Like,
If we
why are
have,
they untouchable?
we have ways to remove the fucking president. Like this.
That's what I'm saying. So why are they untouchable?
I don't know. I don't know. They make the laws and they decide them. Well, they don't make the laws, but they decide them.
And that's pretty much like making the law.
For me, like when his wife was so outspoken in her policies and views, I felt like that was a violation. Like, you're the wife of a judge. You can't be out here talking all of this crazy shit and showing partisanship and favoritism.
And that's why
I
think
thought that was crossing the line.
And that leads me to believe that when people do stuff like that, it's because they've already been told you are guaranteed in. So you can say whatever you want because he's going to be in no matter what.
Yeah, the people that can punish you are the people that are, supporting you. So
yeah.
We talking about him. His wife is taking thousands of dollars in payments from judicial activists. His wife is not a judge. Her husband is. These motherfuckers, they gotta go. They gotta go.
Every time I see his face, he reminds me of that Samuel L. Jackson character in Day Django. He looks just as miserable. Put some glasses on Samuel L. Jackson's character, and it's the same person.
Yeah, no, you might be on something there. You might be on something.
Massa.
Unfucking believable. Well, the WHO came out, the World Health Organization.
The WHO?
The WHO, and they have downgraded the COVID pandemic. It's over. I thought it'd been over, but
I mean, I forgot about the pandemic.
Well, I still am super conscious about washing my hands. I sanitize my hands before I eat, when I'm working on the road. I still do all the same. I don't wear the mask anymore. But other than that, I'm still very conscious about cleaning my hands because
I mean, there's things like I was just telling you off camera, I got sick. I had COVID. And the only reason why I know I had COVID, well, my husband had gotten COVID and he was dying. And the reason that I knew I had COVID was because I lost my sense of smell, which that was my only symptom. My mom had, because we were all in the same house. The kids never show symptoms. My mom and I had the same symptoms, which was loss of taste and smell. And that only for my mom's, it lasted a long time. For me, I think I had my sense of taste and smell like within like 3 days. And that was it. Like, that's it. Nothing. Now I got sick and I was sick for a month. Fever, body aches, and I mean a month, a horrible cough, horrible congestion. I got tested for COVID. I got tested for the flu, nothing. We were all sick. And I remember when I remember the fear of even thinking I might have COVID. Yeah. And now somebody sneezes next to me and I'm like, hey, what's going on?
Nah, I still look at them crazy. I'm still like, hey, because so, to be clear, it's no longer at an emergency level. Um, but there have been recent spikes in the Southeast and Southeast Asia and in the Middle East. And there are still thousands of people dying weekly from this shit, and millions of people still suffering from
Yeah.
these long-term effects. So it remains a global threat, but it's just not an emergent pandemic anymore. So still just wash your hands. If you have conditions that are concerning, just still put on a mask when you go to the store. And
I don't even see people wearing masks. I don't even see Asian people wearing masks. And
I
they used to wear
still I see like Uber drivers still wearing it. I see some older people in the stores still wearing masks. Not like it was 2 years ago,
Yeah.
but um
I mean, there was a point in this pandemic that I was like, we will never be normal again. I'm sure a lot of people are thinking the same thing as well.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, the world changed. Our economy
And
changed.
then I felt great. I'm like, COVID? What COVID? Like whatever. And then I watched The Last of Us, and then I'm like, fuck mushrooms. Now this is what's gonna happen to us. I was cool, and now I'm having nightmares about this stuff.
We joke about this stuff, but these are gonna be how the future wars are fought. Like seriously, this shit like this, biochemistry is between that and AI and that technology. That's how we're
Yeah,
gonna be attacking each other, which is just it's terrifying.
yeah.
But damn
Don't eat
man,
mushrooms.
don't eat mushrooms. So Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey might be brothers. Really? You think so?
I think so. I really
What?
do.
It's
Because
yeah.
I guess the mama was crazy.
It seems very likely. They even on both accounts, there's parts of the stories that all line up. But it's
So so I saw this like last week, or I don't know when is it that I saw the first thing, but as of yesterday, um, they were seeing, like, Matthew says that they already, like, his kids call Woody Uncle Woody, and Woody's kids already call Matthew Uncle Matthew, and the families have always seen their pictures side by side, and they've always said that, oh, you guys kind of look alike or whatever. So what just came out like 2 days ago is that Matthew said that his mom did confirm that she was in a relationship with Woody's dad while she was getting divorced from Matthew's dad. So she confirmed that. And even he said that when Matthew was being born, his dad, whatever his name, McConaughey, did not go to the hospital. And he said, that's not my son. I'm not going to go to the hospital. So his mother gave birth. And this is him saying that his mother gave birth without her husband being present, or her soon to be ex-husband present, because he was saying that that wasn't his son. So both fathers are dead. Woody's dad died in prison. That's so fitting his character.
wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, it's almost like they're admitting it, but there hasn't been like a DNA test or anything. But
Well, yeah, that's new information because from what I
yeah,
had here is like even McConaughey was admitting that there is evidence that it's possible.
possible.
Timelines match up and
Mhm.
things, but he was reluctant to get the DNA test because he felt like that would alter his relationship with his father.
Which his father had passed away anyways. He's dead. But I guess it's hard to see it in paper, like he's really not your dad. Whether it could be.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would be harder to accept if he was alive. I don't
Yeah,
know. Just thinking me personally, I don't know. I mean, he still was who he was to you. He still, however your relationship was, it was. Nothing can change that.
right.
Um, the only thing that changes is your understanding of
It's so funny because I've always, I love Matthew McConaughey. I love all his movies. I don't
Yeah.
think there's a movie that I've seen that I have not liked. I like The Maid in Manhattan, and the one that he had, like one of my favorite movies is actually him and Goldie Hawn's daughter, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. It's like a rom-com. You probably don't watch that.
I don't. If I see his names in it, I'm likely to watch it. But no, I don't tend to watch rom coms. But
Well, that's like one of my favorite movies of all times, right? And I like all these other movies or whatever. But I'm always like, oh, he's so cute. I love his accents. He's so manly, this and that and the other. And then before knowing this information, whenever I would see Woody Harrelson, I'm like, oh, does he have a wife? Like he's and now when I see both of them side by side, I'm like, oh my God, Matthew's so ugly now to me because he looks so much like Woody Harrelson.
that's funny because for a period of time, McConaughey was a sex symbol, and
Yeah.
and then Woody Harrelson has never had that title or even
No.
been considered, right?
No.
So then when you do see them side by side, you're like,
Huh.
I kind of
It's
see it.
almost like
Yeah.
Matthew without hair looks like Woody, or Woody with hair looks like Matthew. Like I was like fucked up in the brain. Like I'm like, so can Woody Harrelson be a
Right. So are you
sex
attracted to
symbol?
Woody?
No, I don't want to be.
Yeah,
No, it's like messed me up.
that's weird.
But what are the chances? They meet through the industry, right? Because they weren't friends when they were
Become great friends
become great friends, and in
to the
a
point where your kids call each other uncle, right?
right, and then they discovered it
That
when there was something going on, and Matthew's mom was like, I know your dad. I knew
yeah.
your dad. And that knew wasn't like, oh, I knew him. It was like, I knew him. So yeah. And then she confirmed that she was in a relationship with Woody's dad while she was getting divorced
For the second time.
for the second time. So
Crazy story, man.
yeah. I wonder what Woody's mom thinks about all this.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think for
And I want to know why his dad was in prison.
yeah, I didn't know that till you just brought that up. Uh, I have no idea.
Hmm.
I have no idea. But this
So
was an interesting story.
that's a cute story though. It's like you meet
I
someone.
still want to see the DNA. I still want the DNA test.
I mean, look at the pictures. You don't even need DNA.
And you know what? It doesn't matter. People look alike.
Anyways, Jerry Springer's dead. This would have been a good Jerry Springer.
Holy shit.
This would have been a very good Jerry Springer episode.
For the DNA test.
Yeah, he is the father. Can you believe Jerry Springer's dead?
Woody Harrelson in the case. Oh no, that wasn't Jerry Springer. That was Maury.
Maury Povich.
Yeah, in the case of Matt McConaughey
No,
being your
but
brother.
Woody.
You
No,
are the brother.
but what's his name? Jerry Springer used to do a lot of
Yeah,
DNA tests too.
they did that stuff too.
That was like the best time.
Like, every day after high school, every day after school was.
I loved it. I loved Jerry Springer. My mom's like, don't get IT. My mom would get mad, first of all, because I would love watching Jerry Springer. And you had these white kids telling fuck you to the parents and this and that. And my mom was like, don't get any ideas from these people because, but man, Jerry Springer, Maury Povich, Ricky Lake, Jenny Jones. I miss Wendy Williams too.
Yeah, I didn't really get into any of that daytime shit. That was a Sarah Jessica Raphael or something like
Oh
that.
yeah.
I didn't really
With the glasses.
Yeah.
Oprah, of course.
I didn't get too much into that stuff, but after school,
Jerry Springer was it?
Jerry Springer for sure.
Yeah.
Man. Well, that's everything for this week. Only thing
No,
left,
Jamie Foxx.
well, we're getting there.
You said everything.
As far as topics, I mean, I guess. All right. So let's get into Jamie Foxx. So finally he speaks out, right? After 3-4 weeks of being hospitalized.
April 11th was when he had the episode, the emergency.
April 11th. So 3 weeks. Speaks out on social media, thanking everyone for the love and support, prayer hands, heart emojis, all of that shit. And then, like, right after that, it was please say prayers and keep them in thoughts. Like, it was the appearance that things had turned for the worst. And so I think a lot of his friends started, reaching out to the circle and finding out what was going on. And somehow wires got crossed somewhere. He's apparently doing better on the mend, making progress and getting better, according to a few
sources,
friends of his.
Friends,
there was one woman, I can't remember her name, but she was the first one that she got scared because she was seeing the, pray, and then, spoke to someone in the circle and was delighted to hear he was actually doing better. And what's his name? Kevin Hart, same thing. Went on some
Lawrence.
Yeah, so
I guess the people that are hosting like whatever show he was on, and they're like substituting for him, like Nick Cannon, Martin Lawrence, Kevin Hart. My thing is that why don't they just say what he has? Why the mystery?
Supposedly he's a very private person with his life, which has always been true. Like, you don't really, like, he's spoken very little about, his Jaime Foxx, not his real name. He speaks very little about his family and his history and things like that. So
and that hairline.
Hey man, that's a sensitive topic. Leave a hairline alone, right?
I'm just saying, like, from the Jaime Foxx show to now, it's a different hairline.
The man is in his 50s.
So it should have gotten worse, not gotten better.
Oh, well, he got more money now. So
I'm just saying, it's very mysterious, everything.
Anyway, apparently he's supposed to be a very private person, and that's why all of the cryptic, they had to say something because he was absent for so long, when he was known for, being very present on social media, and he was recording a movie. So, people on the set, going to start talking and things would get around. So they had to say something, but the more they said.
I know what happened.
What happened?
Hear me out. Remember that he was dating Tom Cruise's ex, Katie Holmes? No. Well, he was. Get with the program.
Yeah.
Listen, Jaime Foxx and Tom Cruise were very close.
Were they?
Okay. Yes, they were. Where have you been? While he was married to Katie Holmes. This is why it's very important to follow these type of topics.
Oh God!
Because I just cracked this case. They're saying he had a stroke. They're speculating that he had a stroke. He's been 3 weeks in the hospital.
I saw an aneurysm.
I'm gonna tell you, it wasn't that.
Tom Cruise beat his ass.
Scientology.
The Scientologist got him. Oh shit! Or he's joining Scientology. Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm saying that he was friends with Tom Cruise,
right?
While he was married to Katie Holmes.
Yeah.
And then he started dating Katie Holmes, but you probably didn't know that because he's super private. But I'm into the, entertainment gossip world. And he dated Katie Holmes for a long time. And Tom Cruise is crazy because he's like all up in there in the Scientology religion. Mm-hmm. He probably tried to kill him. Mission Impossible style.
Oh, you might be on to something.
I am.
You might have cracked the fucking case.
I know I did. I tried going into that Scientology building.
You told us the story.
I think when I go back, I'm gonna go in there.
Rightfully, they wouldn't let your ass in. But
I think that's what happens to Jamie. Listen, everybody's sending prayers except Tom.
Do we know that for a fact?
I do.
Oh, okay. Shit. Well, I guess that's it then. Tom did it. In the media room with the candlestick.
I love that movie.
It's a game. It's a board game. It is a
But I
movie.
love the movie.
They
I
made the movie.
love the movie. I like the game, but I love the
I
movie.
love the game. I love playing that game.
So Tom did it. On a serious note, which is not that far from what I just said because I was serious, but 3 weeks in the hospital, I mean, I don't know. Like a fit guy, young guy, fit, healthy young guy. I hope he gets better. I really like Jamie Foxx. I like
Fit.
all his movies and
Fit does not mean healthy.
true.
And unfit does not mean unhealthy. It is a common correlation we make, but it's an
And you should
inaccurate
not
one.
have friends that are into Scientology.
I am not going to tell anyone who to be friends with or not be friends with, but moving right along. Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Uh this is kind of weird doing without Julian, but music and no movie recommendations without Julian. And I don't have any music dropping other than, the Wu-Tang song of the week. So we are still on Only Built for Cuban Links album. And this song of the week is Verbal Intercourse. And Julian will probably be elated to hear this. He'll probably be bothered that I chose the episode. He's not here to make this the song of the week. Sorry, bro. I literally, as I'm saying this, I'm just thinking about it. And I'm like, I should have waited because
No, you're not. Look at the smile in your face and the twinkle in your
because
eye.
as I'm thinking about it, it's gonna seem premeditated, but I'm
It was
literally
it
just
is.
thinking about this.
No, you
I
told me
didn't
before we started
cut it
recording.
out. Anyway, this is it's one of Julian's favorite songs. So
That's why we're doing it this week.
I think that's why, because he and I talked about it last week after we finished recording. Or I
And
think
you were like, how can I get him back for all these like nickname shit show for 29 episodes? Well,
yeah, it's gonna come across that way for sure.
you told me before we started recording.
Stop it. I did not. Stop starting shit.
You told me, how can we get him back?
There
You
go.
can edit this out. You can edit this part out. Wait, that you
Yeah.
did tell me before. You can edit
You know what?
it.
I'm gonna let it go. Anyway, part of the podcast I hate the most, but we must do it. Gotta say goodbye, pay our respects. Araya Barrett, 2-year-old daughter of Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Shaq Barrett, drowned in a pool
Oh,
this week. She's the youngest of his 4 children. It took place at their house, and it was about 9:30 in the morning on Sunday when they found her in the pool. This is
oh my
one of
God.
this is one of my biggest nightmares. Like, I always, it's in the back of my mind, like when we come into a pool, like just finding somebody in a pool. Like, I found animals in pools, and I don't even want to deal with that. The thought of coming across a person in a pool, I would probably
And a, a person, but
a
a
baby,
baby.
2-year-old baby, and she just turned 2.
How did it happen? Like,
No
there was no
details.
gate. Oh.
I would think it has to be no gate. No details have been released, and there's no suspicion of any foul play. But yeah, the baby found her way into the pool.
You know, this happened to us, by the way. I don't know if you knew that story.
Yeah.
And I mean, so obviously Esma is, as you saw, good. But when I hear stories like this, like it really stops my heart because I mean,
It was almost you.
it was almost us, yeah.
Yeah. I cannot stress enough, if you have young children or children who are not strong swimmers, and you have a pool, you have to put a child gate around that pool. You have to.
Not so what I learned from that experience is that even if you have children that are strong swimmers, to just have a gate, because obviously talking through my experience with Isma, I've met other parents that have gone through the same thing and they've lost kids that are strong swimmers, but something happened. Like, for example, I have a friend that she was at a party and the kids were in the pool and the child that drowned was a strong swimmer, but they were holding on to her and she drowned because somebody else wasn't a strong swimmer and they held on to her. And you could be a strong swimmer, but it can only, and it just takes literally seconds. Like
Yeah.
you can drown in I think what is it that they say, in a spoonful of water
Yeah.
or something like that.
Very little water in your lungs, you can drown.
Like I know that when I see stories like this across social media, obviously there's people like, oh, we're the parents and this and that and the other, and we cannot be everywhere watching our kids every hour on the hour. So I really feel horrible. This is like a parent's nightmare.
Yeah. They're devastated. But
I'm sure.
Like you said, you can't watch them every second of the day, and it doesn't take very much time for this to happen. And that's why you need to have the gate. Like you said, even strong swimmers, because kids, what do they do at the pools? The number one thing parents are screaming at a pool: stop running, right?
Yeah.
They're running around, it's wet, you slip, you fall, you hit your head, you're unconscious, you drown.
Drown.
It's
when Khalil was born, we didn't take him to the swimming classes, but we had a gate. And when he got to the age that he could walk or whatever, we always had the gate locked. And then he started putting shit on top of each other to try to get to the pool.
That's a boy.
He had we had the little, like a little slide thing, not for the pool, but he was putting things together, and I literally saw him with my eyes building something to stand in the pool to try to jump over the fence. And that was the day that I'm like, okay, seal and swim, or whatever it was called. And I'm like, he's going, because even though we have a gate, he's trying to still get into that water.
Anyone who is remotely familiar with your son is not surprised by this story at all.
Or at this point, my children in general.
Yes, they're all mischievous and curious.
Except my middle child. My middle child is like me, and my other two are like the father.
Yeah, she's had her moments.
Yeah, she does. But the other two are out of control.
For sure.
Yeah. But Kadir is something else. So we were like, we need to get these, we need to get him. And then Elif right away went to swim school. I think when she was like 6 or 7 months or something like that.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's important, especially in Florida. There's pools everywhere. Even if you don't have one, you let your child go to a friend's house that has one, and you don't know what the supervision is going to be like there. Yeah, you just best to make sure that they know how to swim.
Yeah.
But
that's so sad. Oh, you brought me down.
I'm sorry. Well, the only thing left is the quote of the week.
This is gonna even be worse. I'm just kidding.
Yo, don't you start your shit. Well, I don't know who needs to hear this, but we often think a watch's value is determined by the gold and diamonds. But the most important thing in a watch is the movement. The watch is like a metaphor for life. Your movement must always be on point. The exterior is what people look at, but the interior is the most important thing. Hope that doesn't go over your head.
Yo, D, this was too long. This is too whack. I sent you 2 of them last week and you chose to use this?
No, you forgot the... Wait, read that again?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Julia,
Julia,
Julia.
no.
Hey, bro, we missed you, man. Anyhow,
Yeah.
Patricia, we made it. Episode 29 is in the books. Like, share,
Woohoo.
subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Um, we'll see you next week.
See you next week.